because Peter challenged me to get 250 views on my live stream by tomorrow night at midnight, and so far I haven't been able to do it. So I have no idea who will be around this time of morning. And I was up till 10 o'clock this morning, and so I got up at 3 o'clock this afternoon, and so I thought I would try right now and see if anyone stops by. And I have my computer so I can look and see what the count is. The most I got up to was when Woof Woof decided to broadcast, except for his bedtime is 9:30 and in the winter, and he's in bed. So I'm trying this by myself, and we'll see what happens. And I think that one of the things that's happening is that because Periscope is shutting down, I don't know that there's many people over there watching. And so and YouTube flagged my broadcast for Southern Charm audio in the background, and they didn't say it was a violation, but they did remove that stream. And so I don't even know if I should have anything on in the background right now, but and I don't know if I'm talking to anyone. If anyone's watching on Facebook and they comment, it will say Facebook user, and I can look on Facebook and see who it is. But and I can open my Google Chrome and look and see right now. I don't know how to use the studio because I didn't watch the explanation yet, but let me see if I can. I'm going to go on my Facebook page and see, because you can tell if you go. You want to see the picture I took from the fireworks from New Year's Eve from Sydney? Here, let me show you. It didn't turn around though. There, the purple. I like the purple. All right. I can open Amazon Music and see if we can listen to Michael Allen Harrison's song of the day, because I haven't. He's on day 321 or 2, which means I'm on day 329 or 330. Let me look. Michael. Right now, they're trying to shut down subway stations in Russia so that people don't have a protest for Navalny, and I was watching that. Let me see. Michael Allen, Allen Harrison. He releases one song a day on his YouTube channel. Since March 16th, and so I've been home since March 7th. So let's see. Anti-anxiety COVID-19 music day 320. That was January 29th. Where's day 321? Oh, there. It says okay, Little April Showers from the album Disney Dreams, classic Disney piano ballads for relaxation and sleeping. All right, let me see if my sound is on.
There are just 5 things that I did.
And it's going to play an ad first. And I think that I should open my Haps so I can see if anyone's watching, because no one's watching on Haps, but they might be watching on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or Periscope or my Facebook fan page. Oh, I can skip the ad. What is it even an ad for? Sales page copy? All right. All right. Let me Let me give him a like for that, because I like that he's giving people music so they don't lose their minds during COVID from stress. That Bell hashtag is Bell Phone Company up in Canada. It's a mental health awareness hashtag. Bell Let's Chat or something like that. It's like 2 minutes and 42 seconds. And I don't know what's wrong with my phone that I have to turn off the Wi-Fi for it to broadcast. I know the battery needs to be replaced, but I'm afraid to go into an Apple store and put my name on a waiting list and wait for hours. And hello to the replay viewers. I'm trying to get 250 live viewers by midnight tomorrow night on one broadcast. For the HAPS challenge. Should I put in the chat who's playing so you can, I'll put it in the chat. It's my friend Michael Allen Harrison. He has the Snowman Foundation. He puts pianos in the schools. And he also has the Play It Forward Foundation. All right, let me see. I'm gonna open, what do I do? Open HAPS. I know this angle is not good, but I'm gonna open HAPS and see. It says live, and it says there's been 7 likes, 7 viewers, 9 viewers, okay? So 1 comment. Oh, that was my comment. I'm gonna unpause CNN. I wonder if they'll flag this because of having it on in the background. I wanna see what's going on with that like right now, my feed is behind. Let me see if I can catch up to the live feed. I wanna see what's going on with that protest in Russia. It's 10 hours ahead in Moscow. So what? It will be noon, 12:20 p.m. in Moscow, same time as Jerusalem. I'll tell you how far behind my live feed is. So I'm fast forwarding right now. There's an ad for some type of face mask. It's best right now to wear a KN95 or an N95 or double mask, a surgical mask with a cloth mask. Okay, breaking news. My feed is down 6 minutes. So if you hear something, it's 6 minutes behind.
Right now, you're seeing live pictures from Moscow. They've shut down key metro stops near the Kremlin and have made numerous arrests. It's an effort to keep another large anti-government demonstration from taking place in the capital like we saw last week.
And these people, some of them aren't wearing their masks.
Russians have turned out in support of jailed opposition leaders.
And it's snowing there.
And Alexander Bonov is a senior fellow at the Carnegie Moscow Center.
They're cracking down on suspected protesters, it says.
You wrote a piece about the people we're seeing here in the streets today.
But Navalny's calling for the demonstrations.
So tell us a bit more about who they are and why they're there.
And why aren't they wearing their
But
masks?
you have to say
Some of
that
them are.
those who took to the street and asked many times that they are not going only to support Alexei Navalny. For
They're
many of
taking
them, he's
one
not the
person
ideal
away.
leader of the future Russia or of the protest, but they are going because what the Russian state did to him. I mean, the poisoning by nerve agent.
Let me see how many
and
people are
probably
watching.
arresting him as soon as he came back from
12
his
viewers and
treatment in
2
Germany.
likes.
And that's why this protest
Should I
is
share it on my
not
other Twitter?
less for
Let me do that.
Navalny and more against lawlessness.
I need to get something to drink.
Well, against the regime.
In terms of their demographic makeup, let's say, are they
Let me
particularly
see if I can do
young?
this.
Are they affluent? Who are these people in terms of that demographic?
Let me check my Twitter.
There were many predictions that the people who will go to the streets last weekend and this one will be very young at school.
I'm going to mute it.
Boys and girls. They didn't came true. There were many young people among them, but not as many TikTokers as it was predicted. I would describe them as
The angle, I have to
people
stop
of
looking
young
up.
age, but
I don't think
more
anyone's
between
watching on
25
there.
and 35, and I call them a kind of post-industrial urban proletarians that they are not
How old are they?
satisfied.
30,
with their
35, 25 and 30?
with their jobs, with their
35.
conditions, and with their prospects. And all this on the background of
All right, let me check
famous Russian
Periscope.
So
Twitter.
about these protests that they were. Quote,
What did he say? It's hard to understand his accent. That's why I have the have the closed captioning on, so I can read the sentences like a minute later.
Navalny and his movement get here in the U.S.
I would say that inside Russia, this particular fact will broaden the Navalny support base because besides the usual protesters who are liberal representatives of Moscow and big towns, liberal intellectuals, we see different people, simpler people, and definitely broader
Simpler
base. Can be
people?
described maybe as former Putin supporter, dissatisfied by the worsening economic conditions and by
0 viewers on Twitter.
last year we had this constitution amendment that allowed
Let me share
Putin
it.
eventually to stay in power for life, and it's not something it's not something that Putin supporters agree with.
So where do we go from here?
Let me go to my
obviously,
other account.
The threat is Navalny. Putin's been in power for some 20 years or so. He's seen demonstrations. He's seen protests like this.
How you treat people is not a reflection of who they are. It's a reflection of who you are. I have to share that.
So what did you mean by that?
First of all, we cannot go into wishful thinking and to say, as many do in every occasion of Russian protest, that the regime is going to his.
It's already on both Twitters.
Putin,
Oh no, it's not.
Still have many supporters. It's still stable, but Putin is aging.
Wait,
He's losing the
it is
confidence
on there.
of newer generations. The elite is not united beside.
It's on both
behind
Twitters.
Vladimir Putin as the main guarantor of their political and economic survival after him. So they are starting to look for somebody else to replace him.
All right, very interesting, and thank you so much for giving us some insight into what we're seeing now from
Maybe
Russia. Alexander Bonov.
Maybe I set it up that way so my Periscope shares to one Twitter and my
Well, the US has now
Twitter
had
shares to my other
26
Twitter.
million coronavirus cases since the pandemic began. More
What
than
if I hit
any other
play?
country in the world. The situation makes the need for widespread vaccinations more critical. Nearly 30 million have been administered out of nearly 50 million distributed. Huge venues like this one
Now
in Denver,
there's
Colorado, are now inoculation
16
sites.
viewers.
And here's some good news. So we're going to put up a graphic here. Look at the dip.
Let me look at the other one.
The number of people in the hospital has fallen below 100,000 in the U.S. for the first time in 2 months. This according to data from the COVID tracking project. But January has been the deadliest month of the pandemic so far in the U.S. Health authorities are putting tougher restrictions in place to curb transmission of the virus. Natasha Chen has more on that and the toll COVID is taking on individual lives.
What actions we're taking.
The CDC says starting Monday.
I'm looking at my
everyone
Facebook
over 2
feed.
years old using any
I need to
form of
look
public
down,
transit
not up.
must wear a mask,
Like I said.
even if one has already had the COVID vaccine. It's a mandate that comes a year after the first reported U.S. case of COVID-19.
We didn't expect to lose any of them, to be honest. We all thought they was going to bounce back.
This family lost 3 loved
I'm
ones.
gonna like my own broadcast and see if that does anything.
I can't call him.
January was the deadliest month of this year-long pandemic. More than 90,000 people in the U.S. have died this month alone. And to give you some perspective, that's about 20,000 more people that could fit in this entire NFL stadium.
The Mercedes-Benz Stadium that hosted the Super Bowl just 2 years ago is now a vaccination site.
Okay, let me look.
Actually get more vaccines out, given the resources that we have or that are shortly coming to us.
16
But
viewers.
if you don't have the vaccine, then we can't do it.
I bet if I
Johnson
let
&
Woof Woof
Johnson is
come back
expected to apply
out of
for
bed,
emergency
he would
use
get viewers.
authorization for its vaccine next week. Its global phase 3
But he's in
trial
bed.
showed the vaccine is 66% effective, but 85% effective specifically against severe disease.
Should we test
This
it?
is a single shot vaccine in which you start to see efficacy anywhere from 7 to 10 days following the first and only shot. It is very, very good with regard to cold chain requirements, namely requiring only a refrigerator.
Meanwhile, a new study suggests children are safer from the virus in schools than out of them. The author of the first detailed study of 2 K-12 schools said in order to reopen schools safely, they need federal centralized guidelines and better access to testing. Health experts are also eyeing new variants of the virus, including the first domestic cases of the variant first identified in South Africa and more than 400 cases of the variant first identified in the UK. Experts believe these variants will be more dominant by the end of March.
I believe that we should be treating every case as if it's a variant during this pandemic.
Everyone's probably
A
sleeping
pandemic
in
that's
the
far
US.
from over. The virus killed 9 nuns in a retirement home
Treat
in
every-
Michigan, all within a few weeks.
Every case as if it's a variant.
And I do, a much deeper appreciation for all the other families who have gone through this, the hundreds of thousands of families. And until it personally touches you, I don't care how much we can have a sympathetic heart, it's different when you've already been there.
Natasha Chen, CNN, Atlanta.
According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control,
Um,
California authorities have administered more than 3 million vaccine doses. Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles has been serving as a mass vaccination site, but there was an interruption Saturday because of an anti-vaccine protest.
I heard
Some
about that.
operations were halted briefly when a few dozen protesters marched to the stadium and gathered outside. Officials said they continued vaccinations inside as the demonstration went on outside. Everything went back to normal when protesters went home. All right, in U.S. politics, President Biden is stepping up his efforts to sell lawmakers.
Okay,
on
I
his
can't tell
$2
who's
trillion
here.
COVID-19 relief bill. He's working over the weekend, continuing to try and rally bipartisan support for the legislation. CNN's Arlette Sines reports.
Should we let Woof Woof try and broadcast while he's sleeping? He's not going to talk to you if he's sleeping, but I could let him try and see if people come in.
Through Congress, the president has made clear that he prefers for this
All right, I'll
to be
let him
passed
try.
in a bipartisan manner. But as some Republicans have put up resistance to his package, saying there needs to be a more targeted approach, there are some Democrats that would like to see the president pursue reconciliation. This would require only a simple majority to get that measure across the finish line. But if Biden decides to go down that path, it will also represent a test of party unity, as Senate Democrats would need to make sure that they had all 50 Democrats on board with this bill. The president has made clear that he wants this package to be passed quickly, as it's really a top legislative priority for him in the opening days of his White House. Arlette Sines, CNN, the White House.
All right, much more to come here on CNN, including a look at the problems involved with getting vaccines to underserved communities. I'll talk to a doctor with some advice on community outreach, plus what British officials have to say about an EU reversal on a vaccine export plan that caused 3 governments to condemn it. Say this.
I made a business out of my passion. I mean, who doesn't love obsessing?
All right, let me look and see if the numbers are going up. Woof woof, how you doing there? Sleeping and broadcasting. Why does it say? Why did the picture go blank? Did I do it wrong? Why is it? Oh, that's the wrong. Okay, that's the wrong day. Let me try and find it again. All right, where's the? Let me turn it around. That's the wrong. I'm trying to it clicked open tabs, so I'm trying to get back to where. How do I close these tabs? I don't understand how these tabs got opened, and I don't understand how I can close them. It's the right click tab.
Somebody ran over $50,000 in my name. This hacker is able to make it appear that all the
How do I? Okay, exit. All right. Well,
maybe in lots of places, but there's one place to help keep it safe. Norton 360 with LifeLock. Every membership includes award-winning Norton device security, a VPN for online privacy, LifeLock identity theft protection with our million.
Let me see if I can get back to the feed. No comments yet. Is this the live broadcast? It only has 15 viewers. And it. I'm not a numbers person, and I am a numbers person, but not in terms of viewers. But there's a HAPS challenge to get 250 viewers on one broadcast. Now there's 20. All right. Woof woof, you can broadcast while sleeping, and I'm going to get some organic gummy bears and something to drink, okay? Here, let's see if you can get the numbers to go up like you did the other day.
Work more efficiently with fast internet and advanced Wi-Fi. Make your business safer with powerful cybersecurity solutions. And stay productive with 24/7 support. Make this year's resolution better solutions. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. To the $64.90 a month. Plus, for a limited time, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card when you upgrade. Switch today.
I didn't know this, but your expensive down comforter, it's likely to develop mold and mildew. That's why I switched to Notch. My Notch comforter is made from all natural eucalyptus and is hypoallergenic, which means a healthy.
The phone, I was up to 191 the other day when the phone died. All right, but I can't see the screen to see the number. Let me try and scroll down.
Sleep clean at BuyNotch.com.
Okay, now, does that say 21 or 71?
All right, we have some breaking news for you. Out of
I can't
Russia.
see.
Moscow police are out in force right now. These are
It's
live
22.
pictures.
All right, Woof Woof, let's see if people come in to say hi to you.
Ever seen these types of protests.
I have to stand up and do my exercises because I'm dizzy.
In the metro stops, they made many arrests. We've seen people, you can see them there being taken to those buses where they're being frisked and taken away. It's an effort to keep another large anti-government demonstration from taking place in the capital like we saw last weekend. In cities across the country today, thousands of Russians have turned out in support of opposition leader Alexei Navalny. We'll keep following this story throughout the broadcast and bring you more as developments warrant. All right, here in the U.S., the U.S. has now confirmed more than 26 million coronavirus cases since the pandemic began, a quarter of all of the world's infections. Health experts are working to get vaccine doses into arms. Nearly 30 million have been administered. Huge venues like this one in Denver, Colorado, are now inoculation sites. A variety of different vaccines are being used around the world. 2 are cleared for use in the U.S. The maker of a third is applying for an emergency use authorization this week. Joining me now is Dr. Sheila Young, director at the Pre-Medical Academy of Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science in Los Angeles. She and her colleagues have been doing intensive outreach in the Watts and surrounding communities about COVID-19. Thanks so much for joining
I don't
us.
think anyone's awake.
In mid-December, I think it was.
22 viewers.
Days after the vaccine started rolling out. Back then, and we're saying many people in your community there were nervous about getting the vaccine. I know you've been doing a number of town halls trying to dispel some of the misinformation, and there's plenty of that going around. So what are the types of things people are scared of?
One of the things that I want to say is that as a physician who's worked extensively on the ground in underserved communities that have been seriously impacted by the pandemic, actually I want to emphasize that historically, Black and Latino individuals haven't been anti-vaxxers. And so this is something that, as far as vaccine hesitancy, was never really an issue before. So I think that, again, there's a lot of misinformation that's happening right now in the community. And of course, social media can be one of the
22 viewers
that people get information from. One of the questions were, does this vaccine have a microchip in it? Another question, does this vaccine affect my DNA? Or will this vaccine actually give me the virus? So these are very basic questions that we can answer, and the answer to those are no. And then we go through actually videos of how the virus works, and we provide individuals with information. I believe that knowledge is power. So the more that we're able to educate folks and let them know about what the vaccines are made of, then I think that we are actually able to move forward greatly. And I will actually say that now more people want to get the vaccine. However, the issue now is access.
Yeah, and that's the question. There seems to be a big discrepancy here between, the access to the vaccine. A CNN analysis of data from 14 states found vaccine coverage is twice as high among white people on average than it is among Black and Latino people. So we know from surveys that those groups are less likely to want to get the shot, but is there that other issue that some people, they do want to get them, but they can't get them, that there is the problems there with access?
Yes, you're absolutely right. There are people now who want to get the vaccine, but they can't get them. Of course, one of the things that we have to look at is what are the priority groups for the country, for the state, and for the county that people live in. So that's one of the things that we have to consider. We're still in the phase where we are ensuring that we have all healthcare workers, nursing home individuals who live in nursing homes, and now for Los Angeles County, those who are over 65. And so that is probably primarily the main group that now we're facing more access issues with.
But if you were advising the Biden administration on how you could go about getting more access, what are one or two things that might help address this problem specifically?
Well, I think that we've really got to be on the ground, target the areas that have high rates of COVID-19 cases and deaths. I think that we can set up at churches, local schools, and we can also implement a program where we go from house to house and offer vaccines. Some folks will say that's not possible, but I worked with the census in 2010 and I went to so many homes. We can set up a system so that we ensure that people are not left out. A lot of folks don't have cars. A lot of folks.
All right, I don't think that's working either.
System to register to get the vaccine. So if we go to their homes, then they'll be very receptive. And that's what the community leaders have asked. The clergy, they've asked if we could actually come to their homes to provide vaccinations. We'll need a large team of folks to carry that out, but I do believe that we can train individuals and implement a program where everyone will have access to the vaccine.
Yeah, let's hope that can happen. Thank you so much for everything you're doing out there in the community, and thank you for joining us, Dr. Sheila Young. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
British Conservative MP and Cabinet member Michael Gove says he's confident coronavirus vaccines from Pfizer and AstraZeneca will be supplied to the UK as planned. And that statement follows a brief conflict between the United Kingdom and the EU, which had planned to restrict exports of COVID vaccines from crossing the Irish border into Britain. Now, the EU backed down after London, Belfast, and Dublin criticized the move. On Saturday, Gove commented on how the governments had been blindsided by a threat.
I think the European Union recognise now that they made a mistake yesterday. The Commission made a mistake. They didn't consult us. They didn't consult our friends in Dublin. And they united parties in Northern Ireland from Sinn Féin on one side to the DUP on the other in condemnation. And people in Northern Ireland were bewildered by this step.
I don't understand what the issue was.
Melissa Bell, who's joining us from Paris. Melissa, an embarrassing climb down there by the EU, but there will be vaccine control. So what effect could that have?
Well, it could have a huge impact. Essentially, despite that climb down, which really suggests that even the EU recognized fairly quickly, because the climb down came pretty fast, that introducing that hard border between the Irish Republic and the United Kingdom was really a step too far. But it really speaks to him, I think, about how high temperatures have risen in the EU. We've been hearing this morning from the French Europe minister saying that the EU is determined to get to the bottom of why its supplies are going to be seem to be falling short, those from AstraZeneca's. What this new mechanism
is Northern Ireland not part of the EU?
To keep an eye on any exports of vaccines leaving the European Union and to block those exports if it feels that the companies involved have not been living up to their contractual obligations with Brussels. So it really gives the EU the ability to watch and to stop vaccines leaving its own territories, its own countries. Now, only yesterday, the British Foreign Secretary said he'd had assurances from the EU Trade Commissioner that he had no desire to get in the way of vaccine deliveries to the United Kingdom. But the fact is that even now, as a result of this, Kim, the EU has the ability to do this. So the French Europe minister speaking to that this morning, saying they're determined to get to the bottom of why AstraZeneca would not be able to deliver as many vaccines as it promised to the EU, but has seen no shortages in its deliveries to the UK. We expect the result of that investigation, that inspection at one of the AstraZeneca sites in Belgium over the course of the next few days. And the European Union making it very clear that it's going to get every one of its vaccines from AstraZeneca if it can. AstraZeneca, in the wake of its approval from the European Medicines Agency on Friday, vowing to look to find as much of that vaccine substance, as it's called, the stuff of the vaccine, if you like, as it could, in order to get as close as it can to its promises to the EU, delivering over the course of the next few days to begin with 3 million doses.
All right, thank you so much for untangling all of that for us, Melissa Bell in Paris. Well, beginning tomorrow, India will ease some restrictions on public activities. Coronavirus cases are trending down. The country is in the middle of...
I'm going to check if anyone's watching in a minute.
Extending help throughout the region.
No one's talking.
As nations scramble to get their own citizens vaccinated, at least one country is stepping up to help some of its neighbors, India. India is the world's biggest vaccine manufacturer. Now it's using that strength for something a little out of the ordinary, vaccine diplomacy.
India has a vaccine manufacturer?
India launched what it hopes will be the largest vaccination drive in the world as it goes about inoculating its own citizens. Now the country is pledging to donate millions of doses to at least 9 nearby countries.
Today, the country is prepared in such a way that vaccine doses are reaching every nook and corner of the country very rapidly. Today, India is completely self-reliant in the matter of this biggest need of the world right now. Not just self-dependent, India is also helping other countries.
The country's Serum Institute is producing the vaccine developed in the UK by AstraZeneca for domestic use and export. India has also developed its own vaccine by Bharat Biotech, which it eventually plans to export. One by one, healthcare workers in Nepal began receiving their first doses. As the country launched one of its largest immunization campaigns, Nepal's prime minister says he's grateful to India for donating 1 million doses.
We got an early chance to administer the COVID-19
I don't think
vaccine.
that anyone's watching right now because
Send my thankful remarks and gratitude to
it's
our
the middle of the
neighboring
night.
India's government, the people of India, and especially to the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi. They sent the vaccine to us.
Prime Minister Oli announced that he's in talks with India to buy even more. Myanmar also began its vaccination program Wednesday after receiving 1.5 million vaccine doses from India. Healthcare workers there showed off their bandages for a photo. With a fragile healthcare system, Myanmar has relied heavily on medical volunteers to help in the pandemic. And on Friday, Sri Lanka began vaccinating frontline health workers after India donated 500,000 doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. And it's not just about diplomacy. India is expected to begin delivering vaccines commercially to Brazil and Morocco by the end of the week. One neighbor that won't be on the receiving end of India's generosity is Pakistan. Officials there announced they'll be getting 500,000 doses from China. India's goodwill could see some pushback from their regional rival, China. China promised to help Nepal in the pandemic, a country where China has major investments, but it hasn't delivered, whereas India has. As the two countries find themselves in competition for strategic influence in the region, it's India that's scoring some early wins this week. Of the many foreign policy challenges facing the Biden administration, perhaps none are as daunting as the Middle East. We'll take you live to Beirut, Lebanon, for a closer look at what lies ahead.
All right.
The U.S. president. Stay with us.
I'll try one more thing, but if I play music, it's going to get flagged for copyright. There's only 27 people. I could try. Let me check my Periscope and see if anyone's watching on Periscope. Okay, hold on a second.